Hi, it's Alaska Granny. Today I have some tips for you on how to save money and stretch your budget. It's getting harder and harder for all of us to make those pennies stretch so that we can get all of the food and supplies that we need. So here are some ideas to help us think creatively, solve those problems so that we can have the things that we need and not waste our money without thinking. Sometimes we thoughtlessly spend money, or we do it just on a whim, or we're in a hurry and we end up overspending, and that can really put a dent in our budget. So one of the first things that a lot of people need to do is look over your subscriptions. Have you subscribed to things and you don't even remember, and it's automatically being deducted out of your bank or charged onto your debit or your credit card? You need to look those things over. Maybe you've subscribed to too many TV different type programs, or you have too many shopping things that they're membership shopping that you don't really use. It could be as simple as, did you join a gym and then you don't really ever go anymore, but you're still paying the membership fee thinking it's the right thing to do to keep going, but you don't? If you're not really utilizing those memberships, then you need to let them go and spend that money on something that you really need and are really using. If you want to go to the gym, get up and get going again. Don't let that membership go to waste. But if you're not using something like that, it's time to cut it off. One of the ways to know how you're spending your money is to track what you're spending. If you're not writing it down and keeping track of it and looking it over and reviewing it, money slips through your fingers and it's gone and you don't know where it went. If we keep track of where our money is going, it's easy to block those leaks, have more money, and then we are able to buy more of the things that we really want, and it isn't such a struggle to pay those bills. I read that the average family in America spends $280 on overdraft fees at the bank. No one should be overdrawn at the bank. If the money isn't there, you stop spending. If you're paying attention to where your money is going, you're not going to be overdrawn. If you have a plan for how you're going to spend your money, you don't need to then have an overdraft fee. You know you can wait a few more days until you can get that money in the bank, or you can make do somehow with the things that you do have. A lot of times people just get careless, they get down, they're in a hurry, and maybe they swipe that card and they buy some coffee, takeout food, and that's what puts them over. And if you plan your meals, it may be boring, but if you plan your meals, then you aren't going to risk having those overdrafts for just something that you need something to eat. You didn't need to spend $20 at McDonald's if you have a simple meal already planned out at home. So part of the overdraft fee is carelessness, so make sure that you're keeping track of what you're spending, especially when that amount is getting low. Keep track of it. Wouldn't you rather have an extra $280 instead of paid it to the bank in overdraft fees? Think if you had that $280 in your hand right now. Wouldn't that be a nice surprise? And that's how you get it for yourself, is by being vigilant about the spending that you do. It's also a great idea to have a cushion in your bank account so that you have extra dollars. You should have some emergency funds, which means it's only for an emergency. If you can eat it or wear it, it's probably not an emergency. Then you need to have that extra money as a cushion, and then you're not going to have those overdraft fees. So pad your bank account with some extra dollars and then tell yourself that cannot be spent. That is there for an actual emergency, and then you're going to avoid those overdraft fees. Plan your meals. Even do a pantry challenge. Open your pantry, pull out some of those foods and put them together and make meals out of them. It may not be the best meal you ever had, but it gets you through. It's money you've already spent, and that enables you to save up some extra money for when you go to the store again, or you have an extra bill that you weren't counting on. You'll have some extra money on hand and you'll be using up the foods that you have. Then plan strategically on meals that you can make. 28% of the food that people buy is wasted because they're buying too much, they're not using it up, leftovers are pushed into the back, and they get spoiled. 28% of your grocery budget could be still in your pocket if you strategically shop for the correct amount. Don't buy a huge bag of something that you can't use it all up before it gets spoiled. Buy it closer to the amount that you can use. When you make a meal, plan on using the leftovers. Package them up so they're ready for another meal, or put them in the freezer. Something that I bought recently to help me with my leftovers was these takeaway dishes. They have a bottom of a dish and a lid. You can fill it up with leftovers. It's a nice portion size. You can stack them in the refrigerator. You can even label them so that you know what's in them. You can put them in the freezer, and then you aren't just putting away random bits and pieces in odd little dishes. You can pull that out and have something to take for lunch, something to eat for dinner tomorrow. Put it in the freezer next week. You can pull it out, heat it in the microwave, and you have a meal ready to go. You didn't have to think about it. It didn't cost you more because you already are using the foods that you bought. And then these can be put in the dishwasher, so they're going to be ready to use again and again. So the initial investment for me was all that I needed to try to use up my food better so that I don't waste my food dollars. Maybe you already have some packages and things that you can already use. Please use what you have. Don't buy something because it's cute or it's going to fit nicely and stack in your refrigerator. Use what you have. But if you don't have something that helps you put away your leftovers, get something, even at a thrift store, a covered dish at Walmart, or even just some of these that are already designed to go together. There's a lot of ways to do that, which can help you save money and stretch your budget. Another strategy that I like to do is put meals in a bag. I get pantry foods that can sit on the shelf. I put them all together in a bag. Then when I don't know what I want for dinner, I'm just tired and need to get a meal on the table, I can reach in and pull out a bag. And you can make them in sizes that fit your family. I always figure 1 can per person. So if you have a bigger family, you need more cans. If you're making it for 1 or 2, you can have a smaller package. And these are so simple. These, I quickly put them together with things I had in my pantry. And you can see, I have a package of Knorr pasta sides, butter and herbs. I have a little package of salmon. I have a can of mixed vegetables, and there's a quick and easy meal I can put together from foods that I have in my pantry. Then I don't have to worry about drive-through dining or what am I going to make for dinner. I have something easy in the pantry. And then I can just put it all in the bag. Set it on the shelf, and it's a meal in a bag ready to go. If it's an emergency, I can grab and go. If it's just a hungry evening, I can still grab it and cook it. It's so simple. Then this one is the same type of thing. Let me show you what I put in this one. This has a Knorr chicken, rice, and pasta blend, a can of chicken, and then I have some Ritz crackers. You could make this like a casserole, crunch these up, sprinkle it over the top. Not all of them, I suppose, maybe half of them. Sprinkle them over the top, heat it in the oven so it's a little crunchy. Then you even have some leftovers. Say you have some peanut butter. Have peanut butter and crackers later. There's also a box of Jell-O. You could make this in the morning, have it in the refrigerator, then when you get home you can make the rest of the meal, have this for dessert, or if you pull this out at the last minute, you have Jell-O you can make for tomorrow, so you have a special treat. And so see how you can put it together for however you want. You can put in anything you want to make a meal that's quick and easy, ready to go. The next one I have is a larger meal for more people than those were small. This is big. I always figure 1 can per person, so this could make a lot of leftovers, or for a bigger family, or however you want. It's up to you. So this one is like an enchilada soup. So I have a can of enchilada sauce. I have a can of Rotel. I have a can of refried beans. I have a can of black beans, and I have a can of corn. So you just dump them all together, put them in a big pot, let it simmer and heat through, and while that's heating, I have a package of chocolate chip cookie mix. So while the soup is heating up, you can stir this together and bake some cookies for dessert. So do you see how easy it is to put a few meals together that can be special? It can help you save money on groceries, stretch your budget, and then have more money left at the end of the month so that you can add extra food into your prepper pantry, your food storage stockpile, and then you'll have plenty of food going forward. The future is uncertain, so we want to make sure that we have plenty of food on hand, and this is a way to do that. Something else to consider is avoiding food waste. Use up the foods that you have. Make the most of every grocery dollar. Plan to use up all of the food that you have as best as possible, and that helps you stretch your dollars as well. If you're leaving the house for the day, grab a few snacks and a water bottle, then you won't be tempted to drive through for a snack, go to Starbucks, hit a vending machine. You'll already have something that you've already bought. The money's already spent, and then that additional dollars will be there still in your budget that you might have spent otherwise. Use up products. When you have a big old tube, what I like to do is take a pair of scissors and cut off the end. Then you scoop it out, maybe cut more of the middle off, and then you can reach in and get all of the product out and use it all completely up. You'd be surprised. There could be 20% left in these tubes. You want to get all of it that you can. Every penny counts, and every drop of product that you've already paid for is yours to utilize, but you need to be able to get it out. Mostly it's important that you track what you spend, pay attention to what you're shopping for, make sure that you're buying things that you really need, you plan to use. Buy things that you like and you enjoy eating. Don't just buy food because it's cheap. Buy something that your family actually likes and they're willing to eat, and then rotate and use those foods. Don't just stock up on food. Use, rotate, and replace those foods. So leave it in the comments below. What are some ways that you can recommend that we save money on groceries, that we stretch our food dollars so that we can have more going forward into an uncertain future? Everybody needs to eat every single day, and the better we prepare and plan, the more happy our days can be, and we'll be able to feed our families no matter what the day brings. I hope you'll like my video, share my video, and please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.